Hi, 7K subscribers. I'm Lyla. I'm the author of the Mini Kim series. And Gigi Shin is not a nerd, which is my middle grade debut. And today I'm going to read a chapter from this book. Seventh grade choir is a time to sing for most people, but not for me. I sit in the very back with my music binder up in front of my face, and when it's not time for me to sing, I draw. When I put pencil to paper, everything around me fades away, except the lines and curves I mark on the page. Even the loud banging of Mr. Martin's piano becomes muffled as I work on my latest comic book panel about Meteor Girl, one of my newest characters. When you live in a quiet and boring suburban town like me, and your family isn't rich enough to go to cool places like Europe or Colorado, like your friends do during breaks, there isn't much else to do to entertain yourself. Drawing is how I have adventures without having to pay a single cent. I may not be able to fly super fast across the night sky as Gigi Shin, but as Meteor Girl, I could fly over the pyramids of Giza and the Eiffel Tower. Gigi, said Mr. Martin, the choir director, what did I say about drawing choir? I looked up, only to find myself staring right into the teacher's eyes. Thankfully, he was still behind the piano with both hands on the keyboard. Sometimes, when he feels inspired, he walks up and down the rows. But he looked so mad that I could picture laser beams shooting out of his eyes. That's when I realized that everyone else in the class was standing up except me. No wonder Mr. Martin could tell I was drawing again. Whoops. I quickly stood and held my choir binder higher up so it's covering my face. A few people behind me snickered, but I didn't look. I was scared of Mr. Martin, but not of the other kids in my grade. They already laughed at me plenty last year when I tried giving myself a chic bob like the ladies in the fashion magazines, but gave myself an asymmetrical crooked haircut that only went up to my ears instead. But it was okay. Headbands were coming back in style. And my red headband with the white polka dots was especially cute. It went well with my white silk scarf and red overalls. I managed to get all sorts of cool clothes from the thrift stores in our neighborhood. I loved making my own style. Sorry, Mr. Martin, I said. I'll make sure to pay extra attention for the rest of class. I snuck a glance at the binder of the girl next to me and saw that we were singing Do Re Mi from The Sound of Music. I flipped the song. It was easy enough to find since Mr. Martin always printed our sheet music in different colors so we could instantly tell which song was in which packet. Mr. Martin sighed and shook his head before finally looking away from me. Okay, class, let's start again from the top. Do a deer. Like I promised Mr. Martin, I put all my effort into singing, and the class went by fast after that. Choir is sort of pointless when you're tone deaf like me, but it was the only class I could take to fill our school's music requirement. After all, it wasn't like I could draw while holding a violin or a trumpet. So even though I hate it, I try to do my best in choir when I'm not drawing. While I was singing, or trying to sing, I happened to accidentally make eye contact with Paul Kim Wiley, one of the most popular boys in our grade. It was hard not to, since the choir chairs formed a U, and as a bass, he was on the exact opposite side of me. When our eyes met, he smiled, and I hid my face in my binder so he couldn't see me blush. We were friends when we were kids, since we used to go to the same Korean school. But he stopped going when we started middle school. So we barely talked anymore. He was kind of annoying when we were little, but as a seventh grader, he was cute and nice. All the girls in choir whispered about how he was a kid K-pop star, great at singing, and super polite. He was also on a seventh grade football team, which made him the closest possible thing to a prince in a Texan school like ours. When the bell rang, I gathered my things. Next period was art, my all-time favorite. I was so excited that I rushed to the door, not looking where I was going until it was too late. Oof! I glanced up to see that I'd run smack dab into Paul. And to read the rest of the chapter and the rest of the book, check out Gigi Shin is Not a Nerd in a bookstore or library near you. Thank you!